against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line, do what I gotta do. Time after time we do the...
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go, here we go.
To throw at the outset, here's Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. The Eagles hit 3-7 now on the year. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
2 yards the loss, second and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up second and 12. Here's Hurts to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Now Cobb to return. A 40-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a first and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Madden. And a sound shot at the 27-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Hey, check that.
On first and 10, it's Sanders. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a second and 6. Hurts. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Quay Walker in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there, trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 39. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Rodgers now to throw. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And they'll work this down inside the 30. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it with Jones. He's not going to get there. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
The kick by Crosby is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive, capture the field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Credit the defense there to Quay Walker, getting behind the line of scrimmage before they could rip off any sort of a gain.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Play action. Here's Hurts. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. Able to slither by. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week and now another here in this first quarter.
But sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. On the tackle, it was the West Virginia man, Kaiser White. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
2nd down, another shot for Jones. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
These two teams all tied after one. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. That's complete to Cobb. Rodgers to Cobb, good for a Green Bay first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Play action. Rodgers. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't fourth down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the first down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Now Rodgers. This is caught. And he is out of bounds here. They do get a pitching catch. It's 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
They'll go with Jones. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this Eagle defense stands tall down near the goal line. A chance to get some momentum here in the 2nd quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in. But I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. That's only the 2nd quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
Hurts throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. He's at the 50. The 30. And he's going to get this down near the 25. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And sometimes you see big plays develop on a route like this, a slant route. And the object, very simple. Get the ball to your receiver in stride. This one was right on the money. He didn't miss a beat. And then it's off to the races, and there he goes.
And if you're wondering how fast he was going, Next Gen Stats clocked him at close to 21 miles an hour. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Preston Smith there on the stop. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Packers are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
That's a beautiful read there by the safety. It's zone coverage, so he's just going to sit back and watch. He knows he can't get beat deep because he has the end line to protect him. So he can react to everything in front of him, and he makes a great break on the football and comes down with the interception.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it, in fact.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. They'll take this back down inside the 20. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
2nd down, back to Sanders. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the left hash, this from 34. The kick by Elliott is good, and they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. Well, Charles, I think you'd have to call that a win for the defense after the turnover already in field goal range, and they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, Bean, the beautiful part is you start so close to the end zone that your thought process on offense has to loosen up a little bit because you're thinking to yourself, you're almost guaranteed 3. Let's take some good shots at the end zone and try and turn it into 6.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. They'll go again to Jones. And this will be a Packers first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. It's caught by OBJ. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
You remember Timmy Jernigan at Florida State. His stoutness that was so impressive there, it still comes into play in the NFL, doesn't it?
If you call stout 300 pounds, and I do, then yes.
Used it well on that play and made a nice tackle for a loss.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. Throwing is Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. It's Cobb. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Up the middle, Jones. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
2nd and 11. On play action. Now Rodgers. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Rodgers. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get that. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away.
Greg Ward deep for Philadelphia.
This is fielded at the 7. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line.
The pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Preston Smith make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. On the return comes Cobb. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together.
Steps away to his left, and he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Hassan Reddick. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Throwing now is Rodgers.
He finds his receiver, Watson.
So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the 3rd quarter. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Jones. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 43 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Rodgers now on 1st down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Down to about the 32.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
On 2nd and 7, Rodgers buying time to his left. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And their defense just helped him out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the 2nd half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them, because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big 2nd half.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. They'll go again with Sanders. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. On the tackle that time, Dean Lowry. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually...
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Preston Smith able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
He'll drop to throw. This is Smith with the ground.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
An option handoff given to Sanders.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
69 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Dancing to his left, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. His second sack of the night.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Here's Ward to return. Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. The passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Brought down that time by Quay Walker.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
On 2nd and 9, Hurts forced out to his. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. just inside the 10, back at the 9. Preston Smith in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long.
On the draw, here's Sanders. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Powering forward. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side's. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Eagles are going to get the football back. It's time to run out in this 3rd quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Come on. Hey.
Up the middle they go with Sanders.
And he'll work down inside the 45.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Quay Walker able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. So 2 sacks for the rookie, definitely making an impact here in year 1.
And in a ton of different ways, because rushing the passer, that was supposed to be a skill that he was developing. Looks to me like he's figured it out already.
It's caught. Smith. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this will stay a 1-score game as the lead will hold at 6. Well, that one hurts a bit. That was a golden opportunity to possibly put this one on ice, but he comes up empty.
And how big of a miss might that turn out to be? Stay tuned. There's still time left on the clock. This could be critical.
Still a 1-score game. Had he hit that, it would have been 2 scores. So he'll be stopped here for no gain, and it's 2nd down.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
For a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. To throw is Rodgers. He completes it to Beckham. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he wisely will throw that one away.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Under pressure, and down he goes. The 2nd back at the 36. T.J. Edwards. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He finds Watson complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them a lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers.
Robert Tonyan,
his 9th touchdown of the season.
And the Packers are an extra point away from going back on top here in the 4th.
And it's no good. He missed it. And the game remains tied. Oh, boy. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
2nd down, back to Sanders.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handling.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Eric Stokes.
And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. In a tie game 4th quarter, that's about as big of a defensive play as you can possibly make.
And it didn't happen by accident. That was scouting right there. They've seen things that have happened before. They knew in certain situations the type of plays they like to run, read it, and were able to go after the football, get it, and take it into the end zone for a touchdown for themselves.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And can they regroup? That's the question. The pick six hurt, no doubt, but this is still a one-score game here in the fourth. Multiple rushers break through to drop in for the seventh time this game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield, and when they see openings, take their shots.
Now Sanders. And some room to work. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 48 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there, finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Darnell Savage there to make the tackle.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
He'll look to throw. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 21. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Back to throw. That swung out wide to Sanders. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
It's a second down run with Sanders. And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And now the kick is blocked. This is going the other way. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Past the 20. And all the way into the end zone, and that's 2 points. My goodness, are you kidding me? All that work to get the touchdown. They need the extra point to tie it in the final minute, but suddenly it's a 3-point game.
And not only that, you've got to plot strategy because you have to kick off and you need the ball back.
Boy, that is a kick in the kneecap. That ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to cash.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
They're probably about one big play from getting into field goal range. I'd go with a 2-deep coverage, make sure my safeties are back to cover all of the field deep.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Packers, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans.